On YouTube, it's Lucas here from DVD205 channel, and today, well, part 6. I might have this miscounted, and I may be saying the wrong numbers when it's supposed to be part 5 or even 7. But I have not been keeping track like I should be. I don't know if I entirely should be, but it's not like I'm doing this in separate segments. I'm doing these all in the same segments. Well, all in the same session, I should say. So, what I'm doing now is swapping the ball head screws for, well, the other screws. Putting the correct screws where these are supposed to go. With a very fine thread. This is taking a long time. So, I'm going to say again, if no one knows why, there's a bunch of videos of the same premise. Don't worry, I'm sure many other people have been asking themselves the same question. That is because I have been doing a build series on a Traxxas Vortec, well, 1.0, a vintage electric Traxxas Vortec, from 1994, so very old. And that means that, well, I'm building up an old kit that I have cleaned and, well, I would say taken care of, but no, I haven't really taken care of it. But if you want to know more about this project, then go to the first video that is called, well, channel updates and a new project. What's going to be happening the next few weeks. So, well, that video goes over what's going to be happening, well, for building this. What's going to be happening for the next few days since that video, anyway. Now, if you've gotten caught up, then you can watch up the entire, well, series up to this point. So far, I have built the rear transmission and differential assembly, which seems to be binding a little bit. That is kind of concerning. I should have tested that beforehand, but that might be a belt. Oh, that's because the drive shafts are not spinning freely. So, yeah, this thing is kind of assembled, as in the entire back assembly is put together and working on the front differential. And if you also don't know, it's going to be 2-wheel drive instead of 4-wheel drive until I get the parts to make it 4-wheel drive. So, that means it'll be, well, 2-wheel drive. And half of the differential was broken anyway, and I don't have the front differential anyway. Currently, though, I'm working on assembling the front diff case anyway. And that means, well, I keep saying that means and stuff like that. Either way, I forgot what I was saying. Well, I'll start working on, well, the steering knuckles and everything else is waiting until I can actually do that. I'm going to start working on, well, the steering servo mounts, I guess, right now. Which should not take very long. Well, it shouldn't, but I know how this is gonna go. Which, luckily for me, it is like 2 screws, but 4 screws to actually mount the steering servo, which is kind of annoying. I'm gonna let you into a little secret. I only use 2 screws to secure the servo, because it's not like it needs 17 screws to hold a, like, 1 gram servo. And I just pulled 1 gram thing because I don't actually know how much the steering servo weighs. Either way, it's a lot lighter than needing 4 screws to hold 1 piece of plastic and gears down. Oops. Alright, I'm not going to worry about Loctiting that because I'm sure I'm going to have to adjust it to actually put a servo on there when I do get to putting all the electronics in here. I'll Loctite that when I have to worry about it. The screws are going to stay undone until, again, I put the servo in there. Which I actually have a full set of electronics. I plan to go with either the original mechanical speed control and the servo that goes with that, or putting a brushless castle system in here. Whichever one you guys want, you can vote in the comments and I'll be sure to figure out which one I should actually put on there by what you guys say I should. Personally, I would put the original mechanical speed control because it's cool, it's old, and, well, this car is very interesting, I should say. I'm gonna put the steering stuff over here by the actual steering buckles and A-arms. So, I need to put this piece here. I don't know if it's actually upside down. I think it's upside down. And now I can put this part, which would be the top plate of the chassis, but that would require undoing some screws because I had these put in here for, well, to figure out where everything was actually going. Which actually, I might be missing a screw that is in my toolbox still. However, I actually put those screws. Oh, there it is. Alright, now I have the other screw that's supposed to go in that. Or on that, whatever. Also, I just hit the table with my knee, that really hurt. So, this part goes under here. I'm sure there's better ways of doing this. And clamps on top of both of these. Alright, well, I'm just gonna put this in this way. I don't think it really matters. I'm going to put these 2 screws in because they've just been floating around ever since I put this back in the toolbox. Actually, I have to Loctite these. I forgot about that because this is more of a permanent thing that I can't really adjust, so there's no point in not Loctiting it. So, I'm going to bring up kind of a conversation. Because, well, it's getting very boring just listening to me blabble on about what's happening with the car. I'm going to talk about some of my RC, well, what's happened with some of my RCs and, well, kind of why I haven't put out any videos. Most of my RCs are broken. At least 2 of them are, of my personal RCs. Well, 3 of them, because, well, this is the 3rd one that I'm currently putting this together. I have 4 RC cars, actually 5. One would be a Traxxas Rustler, the other one would be the Traxxas Vortec. Another one would be a half Stampede, half on-road car, half a ruckus truck that you'll actually see probably when I get parts to fix that. But there's another thing, my original Traxxas, or, well, ECX Ruckus, is currently, well, in half, because the other half of it is part of that, Rustler, or Stampede, on-road car, Rustler, Ruckus thing. Either way. So that's disassembled, and I can't really do very much about it until I get parts to fix both of them, which the Ruckus has more of a chance of not being put together than the other Stampede thing. So, basically, I really only would have 3 trucks that would be in working order if I get parts to fix them. Also, I forgot to lock. Did I just? What happened with my phone? Oh, battery. Fuck. Oh, I said that out loud. Well, well, I cursed. Well, whatever. I don't really care. Not like anyone's actually gonna watch this anyway. Well, that's the end of this series anyway. Well, not this series. This is the end of the episode. They'll be working on this when my phone's plugged in and I can actually record. So, yeah.